The biggest mistake you are making right now is assuming that her silence is a sign of your failure. You have been conditioned by a fast-paced, instant gratification world to believe that if a woman isn't constantly reaffirming her interest through digital noise, she is slipping through your fingers. You see the gaps in communication, the seen receipts without a reply, and the physical distance during your time apart, and you interpret it as a complete rejection of your value. I am here to tell you that you are fundamentally misreading the emotional landscape. In many cases, that distance is not a sign of fading interest, but rather the clearest indicator of a deep, terrifying, and overwhelming emotional attachment. Most men react to this distance by chasing, which only confirms the woman's fear that she is losing herself in the connection. If you want to be the man who actually understands the heart of a high-value woman, you have to learn to see beyond the obvious. You have to recognize that when the stakes get high, the heart often goes quiet. This is not about games. It is about the raw, psychological reality of how human beings process intense intimacy. When someone starts to realize that you have the power to truly affect them, to hurt them, to change their life, or to become a permanent fixture in their mind, the natural biological response is to take a step back and assess the threat. Yes, love feels like a threat to the ego. In this guide, I'm going to break down exactly why pulling away is a sign of investment, and how you can navigate this transition with the authority and calm that actually makes her feel safe enough to return even closer than before. Let us get one thing straight. When a woman is not interested in you, she does not pull away with tension, she simply disappears with indifference. There is a massive difference between the two that most men are too blinded by their own insecurity to see. Indifference is cold, flat, and effortless. She does not think twice about not texting you. She does not feel a need to process anything because there is nothing to process. But attachment? Attachment is heavy. It is hot. It is confusing. When a woman feels herself becoming deeply attached to you, it triggers a survival mechanism. She starts to wonder if she is giving away too much of her power. She worries that if she keeps up the pace of the initial honeymoon phase, she will become vulnerable in a way that she cannot control. So, she retreats into her own space to recalibrate. This is what I call the internal calibration phase. She is not leaving you. She is trying to find herself again so that she can come back to you without feeling like she is drowning. If you can understand this, you are already ahead of 99% of men. You have to stop viewing her distance as a problem to be solved and start viewing it as a natural evolution of a deepening bond. Think about the last time you felt truly overwhelmed by a project or a life change. You did not want more noise. You wanted less. You needed to step back to see the big picture. That is exactly what she is doing. She is stepping back to see if this connection is sustainable. She is checking to see if you are a man who can handle her complexity, or if you are a man who will crumble the moment she stops being a source of constant validation for your ego. If you crumble, if you get angry, or if you start sending 10 texts for every one of hers, you have failed the test. You have proven that your stability is dependent on her attention, and that is the least attractive thing a man can do. To keep her attached, you must be the one who remains unmoved by the silence. You must show her that your world does not stop spinning just because she took a few days to think. This shows her that you are a safe harbor. It shows her that she can go into her shell when she needs to, and that when she comes back out, you will still be there, solid as a rock, unbothered, and ready to lead. This is the curriculum of emotional maturity. We are going to dive deep into the specific behaviors that signal attachment through distance. We will talk about the overthinking, the subtle observation, and the internal battle between her desire for you and her need for self-protection. By the end of this session, You will not just be a man who understands women. You will be a man who understands the nature of attraction itself. You will realize that the most powerful connections are not built in the moments of loud celebration, but in the quiet, tense spaces where trust is actually forged. Let us begin with the first pillar of this psychological breakdown: the reality that distance often hides a desire so intense that it scares the person feeling it. When things are casual, they are easy. You can text whenever, say whatever, and there is no weight to it. But the moment real feelings enter the equation, the weight becomes palpable. She starts to analyze every word. She starts to worry about her image. She pulls back because she does not want to look desperate, but more importantly, because she is trying to protect herself from the potential of your rejection. The more she wants you, the more she fears the possibility that you do not want her as much. This creates a push and pull dynamic. She pushes you away slightly to see if you will chase her, not because she wants a game, but because she needs to know if you are invested. However, if you chase her too hard, you confirm her fear that you are needy. If you ignore her completely, you confirm her fear that you do not care. The path of the superior man is to acknowledge the distance without being affected by it. You give her the space she is asking for, but you keep the door open with a calm, occasional presence that says, "I am here when you are ready, but I am also perfectly fine on my own." This creates a vacuum of attraction. When she sees that her pulling away does not break you, she starts to respect you on a deeper level. She realizes that you are not a boy seeking a mother's attention, but a man who can handle the ebbs and flows of a real relationship. This is where true attachment is solidified. It is in the realization that she can be her messy, conflicted, and distant self, and you will not punish her for it. You will not freak out. You will not make it about you. You will understand that it is about her process. And that understanding is the ultimate aphrodisiac. It is more powerful than any pickup line or grand gesture. It is the gift of being seen and understood without judgment. Now, let us look at the second point: the secret proof of care that lies within overthinking. Men often complain that women are too complicated or that they read too much into things. What these men fail to realize is that overthinking is the ultimate compliment. It means you matter. It means you are a significant variable in her mental landscape. If she did not care about you, she would not spend a single second wondering what your last emoji meant. She would not replay your conversations in her head. She would not wonder if she was too loud, too quiet, or too much. The very fact that she is processing you with such intensity is proof that she is emotionally hooked. Sometimes, this overthinking leads to a temporary paralysis. She gets so caught up in trying to do the right thing that she ends up doing nothing at all. She stops texting because she does not want to say the wrong thing. She avoids a date because she is nervous about the level of intimacy that might occur. To the unobservant man, this looks like she is losing interest. To the man of high emotional intelligence, this looks like a woman who is deeply invested and currently overwhelmed by the weight of that investment. Your job is to lower the stakes. You do this by being light, being fun, and being consistent. You do not ask her, "Why are you being so quiet?" That only adds more weight to her overthinking. Instead, you send a short, funny observation or a low-pressure invitation that reminds her that being with you is easy. You take the pressure off. You show her that she does not have to be perfect to be with you. This allows her nervous system to settle, and once she feels safe again, the distance will vanish. She will come back with a level of warmth that will surprise you, and it will be because you had the strength to let her be quiet for a while. This leads us into our third point: Her silence is often louder than her words. In the beginning, communication is often superficial. It is high volume, low depth. But as attachment grows, the nature of communication changes. Silence becomes a tool for emotional processing. When a woman is silent, she is often doing the hard work of integrating her feelings for you into her life. She is thinking about the future. She is considering how you fit into her long-term plans. She is weighing the risks. This silence is a sign of respect for the connection. It means she is taking you seriously. If she was just playing with you, she would keep the banter going without any thought because it would not cost her anything emotionally. But when she goes quiet, it is because the cost of the connection has gone up. She is making sure she has the funds to pay. Do not fear the silence. Use the silence to focus on your own life. Use the silence to build your own empire, to go to the gym, to connect with your friends, and to be the man she fell for in the first place. One of the biggest reasons women pull away is that men stop being the interesting, independent individuals they were at the start. They become obsessed with the woman, and that obsession is stifling. When she pulls away, use it as a signal to return to yourself. This creates a healthy polarity. She moves away, you move back to your center. She feels the space you have created, and because she is attached, she will eventually feel the urge to fill that space again. It is a natural cycle. If you try to stop the cycle by jumping into her space, you create friction. If you let the cycle happen, you create flow. This brings us to the subtle signals you are missing every day. Emotional attachment is not always expressed through big, dramatic declarations of love. It is found in the way she remembers that you have a big meeting on Tuesday. It is in the way she notices when you are tired, even when you are trying to hide it. It is in the subtle softening of her voice when she finally does talk to you after a period of silence. These micro-signals are the real currency of a deep bond. Most men are so busy looking for the big win that they miss the small victories. If she is still paying attention to the details of your life, she is attached. Even if she is not texting you good morning every day, if she checks in to see how your sick mother is doing, she is deeply invested. You have to learn to read the subtext. You have to stop being a literalist. Women communicate through nuance and emotion, while men tend to communicate through facts and logic. To bridge the gap, you must learn to speak her language. You must learn to feel the energy behind her actions. If the energy is still there, the distance is just a temporary phase. It is a protective layer, not a permanent wall. Understand that she is likely torn between wanting to be with you and wanting to protect herself. This is our fifth major point. Every high-value woman has been hurt before. She has a history, she has scars, and she has a built-in alarm system that goes off when she starts to feel too much. This is the struggle between the desire for intimacy and the need for autonomy. She wants to lean into you, but she is afraid that if she does, she will lose her identity. She is afraid that you will become her entire world, and that if you leave, her world will end. So she pulls away to prove to herself that she still exists outside of you. It is a self-preservation tactic. Do not take it personally. It has nothing to do with your lack of value and everything to do with her internal journey toward trust. You cannot force trust. You can only earn it through consistent, non-reactive behavior over time. When she sees that you are not going to exploit her vulnerability or judge her for her fears, she will slowly let down her guard. But this process takes time, and it requires you to be the more emotionally stable person in the room. You have to be the one who can hold the space for her conflict without becoming conflicted yourself. This is what it means to lead in a relationship. It is not about making all the decisions. It is about providing the emotional framework that allows the relationship to flourish. This brings us to a fascinating aspect of attachment. She is watching you even when she is not talking to you. In the age of social media, distance is rarely absolute. She is likely keeping an eye on your stories, your updates, and your general vibe. She is looking for signs of how you are handling her distance. Are you posting sad, desperate quotes? Are you out partying with every woman you can find just to spite her? Or are you simply living your best life, focused, driven, and seemingly unbothered? The way you carry yourself during her absence tells her everything she needs to know about your character. If you are steady, she feels a sense of relief and attraction. She thinks, "This is a man I can rely on. He does not fall apart when things get quiet." But if you are erratic, she feels a sense of danger. She thinks, "If he is this unstable when I am just busy or tired, how will he handle a real crisis?" Your silence during her silence is your strongest negotiation tool. It is not about being petty. It is about maintaining your dignity. It is about showing her that while you value her presence, you do not need it to be a complete person. This paradoxical truth is the foundation of all long-term attraction. The more you show you can live without her, the more she will want to make sure you do not have to. Finally, we must discuss why your reactions can make or break her attachment. This is the seventh and perhaps most critical point. Your reaction to her distance is the deciding factor in whether she stays or goes. Most men react from a place of fear. Fear of loss, fear of inadequacy, fear of being alone. This fear is a scent that women can pick up from miles away. It is repellent. When you react with fear, you become a burden. You become another thing she has to manage, and she already has enough on her plate. But when you react with understanding and strength, you become a partner. You become a teammate. You give her the space to feel her feelings without making her feel guilty for them. This is the highest form of love. It is the ability to say, "I see that you need space, and I am man enough to give it to you because I trust in what we have, and I trust in myself." When you do this, you remove the friction from the relationship. You stop the tug of war. You let go of the rope. And when you let go of the rope, the other person stops pulling away and starts walking toward you. It is a simple law of physics applied to human emotion. If you want her to come closer, you must stop trying to pull her closer. You must become the magnetic center that she naturally wants to orbit. This requires a level of self-mastery that most men never achieve. It requires you to sit with your own discomfort, to face your own insecurities, and to choose a course of action based on wisdom rather than impulse. This is the call to emotional maturity. It is time to stop playing the game of chasing and start playing the game of building. A relationship is not a conquest. It is a construction project. It requires a solid foundation, and that foundation is built on trust, respect, and the ability to navigate distance without fear. In conclusion, I want you to take a long, hard look at your current situation. If she is pulling away, stop the panic. Stop the analysis. Stop the desperate attempts to fix things. Instead, take a deep breath and realize that this might be the very moment her heart is opening up the most. She is in the middle of a transition. She is moving from casual interest to deep attachment, and that is a bumpy road. Be the man who can handle the bumps. Be the man who remains steady while she is conflicted. Recognize the signs of care in her overthinking, the value in her silence, and the protection in her distance. Respond with the calm confidence of a man who knows his own worth and who respects the emotional process of the woman he cares about. This is how you build a connection that lasts a lifetime. This is how you become the man she never wants to lose. I want to hear your stories in the comments below. Have you experienced this? Have you seen a woman come back stronger after a period of distance? How did you handle it? Let us learn from each other and build a community of men who are emotionally intelligent, strong, and capable of leading in their relationships. Remember, the depth of her heart is often hidden in the very behaviors you find most confusing. Start looking for the truth behind the silence, and you will find a love that most men can only dream of. It is time to step up. It is time to lead. It is time to understand the hidden language of attachment and use it to create the life and the love that you deserve. Do not let the distance scare you. Let it refine you. Let it show you what you are truly made of. Because at the end of the day, a man who cannot handle a woman's distance can never truly handle her heart. Be the mountain. Be the steady force. Be the man she can always come back to. This is your mission. This is your path. Now go out there and execute with the confidence and the authority of someone who knows exactly what he is doing. The silence is not the end. It is just the beginning of a much deeper conversation. Make sure you are ready to listen when she finally decides to speak again. The world needs men who are patient enough to wait for the real thing and strong enough to hold on to it when it arrives. Your journey into the depths of emotional attachment starts now. Do not look back. Do not doubt. Just be the man you were born to be. In every moment of quiet, there is an opportunity for growth. Every time she steps back, she is giving you a chance to show your strength. Do not waste that chance. Use it to prove to her and to yourself that you are the real deal. High-value women are not looking for someone who can just entertain them. They are looking for someone who can contain them, someone who is big enough and strong enough to handle all their light and all their darkness. When she pulls away, she is testing the container. Make sure yours is unbreakable. Make sure your frame is made of steel. Only then will she feel safe enough to truly surrender. And that surrender is the greatest gift a man can ever receive. It is the ultimate proof of his masculine power and his emotional depth. So embrace the distance, love the silence, and wait for the magic to happen. It always does for the man who has the courage to stand his ground. This is the truth about romantic distance. It is not a sign of the end, it is a sign of the depth. It is an indicator of an attachment so profound that it requires space to breathe. Give it that space. Give her that respect. And in doing so, you will give yourself the best possible chance at a love that is truly extraordinary. Let this sink in. Let it change the way you see your relationship, and let it lead you to a place of peace and power that you have never known before. This is the end of the script, but it is the start of your new reality. Take it, live it, and watch as everything changes for the better. You have the knowledge now. All that is left is the action. Be the man, stay the course, and never, ever settle for anything less than a love that is as deep as the ocean and as steady as the stars. Your time is now. Make it count.